what's up, guys? Welcome to the first episode of Where It Went. I'm Lennon. What's up, Carter?
What's up? My name is Carter. Run From Within Records, shit like that. Go ahead, Leonard. I'll let this is more your idea than mine, so I'll let you explain it.
Yeah, so me and Carter are both big zine guys. I mean, we play in bands, and like Carter does a label, I did a label, but more importantly, I guess in this context, Carter's been doing a zine for a while. I used to run Plead Your Case zine, which I did like 30 issues of it. I did Force of Change zine. I did Frontline Combat. I did a couple different zines. So, and Carter's been going strong with a few different zines as well. Carter and I are both zine lovers, collectors, appreciators, and we thought we would share our love for zines by kind of diving into some of our favorite zines on this YouTube channel.
Yeah. I'm doing a zine called Strike Force right now. I did like 10 issues of the From Within Records fanzine. But yeah, aside from that, I mean, I think zines are like a staple in hardcore. I think it separates it from any other music genre, like a lot of other things within hardcore. Me and Lennon also love comics. And I think if you love comics, you'll love zines. It's just basically like a hardcore comic, as weird as that sounds. But we got this idea. There's a really famous, if you like comics, there's a famous YouTube channel called Cartoonist Kayfabe, and we kind of are just jacking what they do and doing it with zines. So I'm pretty excited for this. I think it'll be really cool.
Yeah, shout out to Cartoonist Kayfabe. This idea was totally just, hey, what if we took the format of Cartoonist Kayfabe and did it with zines? So, yeah, to me, zines are really important. Obviously, they are how they're a time capsule. They document hardcore in a way that you can look at things from like a sociological perspective, which is like one of my favorite things to do with hardcore. Um, Today we're looking at Even the Score. We actually have volume one and volume two. Due to a printing mishap, volume one we're going to be looking at scans of it
Screen
on
share.
PDF. The printing people kind of screwed me when I went to print the copy. Carter, I'm sure, knows his pain. I'm sure anybody who makes a zine knows his pain. When you go to a Staples where you printed a zine like a billion times, and you just get that one person who doesn't know what they're doing, and they're like telling you that it can't be done. Um, and It's also usually, I feel like it happens when you're like on the way to the show where you're trying to sell the zines at too. So of course it happened today when we were trying to print it. But real quick before we jump into the zine, I wanted to plug a couple things for me and Carter. We got the Warren 7-inch. It just came in. I love the layout. It's fucking awesome. Carter, you can talk about this record since you put it out.
Yeah. So this is the second release I've done for Warren. I did their first full-length LP called Human Work. That was the first LP I ever did on From Within Records. So this band will always be really important to me for that matter. Basically the first vinyl I ever did. And I think Condensing Flesh, the new 7-inch they just put out, I think this is their best material to date. The singer Dan is a good friend. He does a movie podcast with Lennon called Dudes Doing Movies. You guys should check out. I think Warren's really good. They're playing FYA this coming up year, 2024. And I think they actually want to do another LP eventually. So lots more in the future for them. But I still have some copies in the From Within web store. You want to check that out. But Condensing Flesh is really sick if you haven't checked it out yet.
Pick it up. Um, the other thing I wanted to plug was Strike Force Fanzine. I got this from Carter also in a package with my Warren 7-inch. Dope zine. I love it. Carter, this is you and Josh together, correct?
No, this is just me.
Oh, okay.
We were doing Wear the Mark together, which just kind of doesn't exist anymore. But we got the industry plant. DeWitt has no swag. But yeah, this is a new zine I'm doing. I stole the name Strike Force from the Epic MMA promotion that no longer exists, and I just had that name kind of for a band for a long time, and everyone, including Josh, was like, "Oh, why the fuck would you ever call a band that?" I think the name's sick, so I was like, "Okay, I'll just use it for a zine then." So this is issue 2, and I'm working on issue 3 for FYA. So
Nice. as someone unbiased who didn't do the zine, I can tell you it's fucking awesome. The Grimlock interview is so fucking sick. I loved him talking about his stories about hanging out with Stan Lee. Being in the last ever photo taken with
Picture.
Stan Lee
That's crazy.
before he died is insane. So yeah, Strike Force fanzine. You still got copies in the web store?
I don't. They sold out, unfortunately.
Oh well.
Yeah, I made 75 and they sold like that zine in particular. I don't know why sells way better than any From Within ones did. Like I could sell like 30 or 40 From Within fanzines online, but the Striker was probably because of Grimlock, honestly, because there's not that much out there. People bought it up. So I'm gonna print some more for FYA, probably like 20 more, 25 more, something like that. But it is sold out online right now.
Nice. Well, if you're a Xenophile and you get the chance to pick one up at FYA or if Carter puts more online, highly recommend. This is one of my favorite zines going right now. How many pages do you know offhand, Carter?
32.
Cool. 32 pages, full size. That's how we
Yep.
like them. All right, let's jump into this shit. So you're gonna share your screen so we can do even the score issue 1 first before we do this shit, right?
Yep.
All right, go ahead.
All right. And let me know if you can see that all okay.
Yeah, yeah. You guys got to bear with us. We're both stupid, so
Yeah. Yeah, like I said, from here on out, like you'll see with even the score two, we're gonna try our very best to do every single thing like that, every single episode like that, where it's laid out, like flipping through the pages and stuff. But for this one, we're just doing what we do, and yeah, we're doing one and two because I think Lennon will agree with this too. The quality from one to two is like pretty drastic, in my opinion, with bands and content.
yeah,
So I guess for this first episode, we just kind of wanted like a super size episode. We'll get to even the score three eventually,
yeah.
which is the last one. But yeah, I just thought it'd be cool to do one and two for this first episode.
I also I do want to say that if you're interested in reading the zines yourself, I did a blog. It was super short lived, where I uploaded scans of out of print zines. It's hcfanzines.blogspot.com. I won't be adding any more stuff to it because it was in like 2014 that I did this, so I don't or 15 or 6. It was like 8 years ago that I did this. And
Yeah,
I by no means have any idea what the login info is. But if you want to go on there, there's some cool scans of this zine. And you can read through it yourself. There's a few other cool zines on there as well. So
yeah, and I'll link that in the YouTube video as well, where
dope.
people can read that. And we'll try our best. I mean, we will. I'll say this now. Every zine we do, we'll provide a link to a PDF in the description so people
Yeah.
can read it. Because we obviously are not going to read this to you like fucking story time, but
Yeah.
we're gonna go over it. But real quick, just a background, even the score. This is one of my favorite zines ever. I mean, I think this is your modern straight edge hardcore kids' wet dream. Honestly, like I don't know. It's sick as fuck. It's like got the corniness of straight edge that I think every person who is straight edge resonates at some point in their life. When you're like younger, even if you don't feel that way as you're older. I can speak for myself. There's still a part of me that has that like militant, hateful part of straight edge in them. I know to some people that might sound weird, but that's just me speaking personally.
Yeah, this zine is so quintessentially like early 90s. It's really
Yeah,
funny too because like we were talking about hardcore, looking at hardcore as like a sociological manner. This is as early 90s as it gets, dude. Like there's so much stuff that's so of this time. I mean, you look at the front cover, like dude, the front cover of this is so fucking early 90s, man.
very much so. Very much so.
Um,
But yeah, go ahead.
yeah, even the score was label as well. They put out 2 7 inches. I believe it was they put out Falling Down, which is the band that became Day of Suffering,
Day of Suffering.
and they put out 40 Days Rain 7 inch, which is like a mid 90s like metallic hardcore band from I think from Massachusetts.
Okay.
Um, but 40 Days Rain 7 inches, whatever. Falling Down 7 inches pretty cool if you're into Day of Suffering. It's like a cool little thing, but Yeah, definitely more. Um, their legacy is more the zine than I think the label itself. But
Yeah, for sure.
South Carolina based zine. Um, they had a couple really awesome, insane shirts. One of them is the shirt with the X up hand holding the Uzi that says straight edge. If you're not now, you will be.
Maybe like one of the most iconic straight edge designs ever.
It's insane. I used to have one. I'm sure I sold or traded it long ago, but
It's dope.
yeah. All right,
But
let's
yeah,
jump into this thing.
yep. So even the score, number one, like I said, Down by Law, Worlds Collide, Spirit of Youth, which I'll get into, and all that shit. But
Yo,
let's.
I wish more zines would put the year and time, like it says summer 1993 on the cover. I
Yeah,
think that's a pretty important thing. Like when you're looking back at zines, like I feel like no one does it now, and like that can lead to like you could be like, especially when I look at zines from like the 2010s. I mean, it's pretty easy to time and place them for us because we were there, but
yeah,
like it helps a lot to like kind of for like a kid who's going to be reading a zine like 20 years down the road. I feel like it's important to like kind of timestamp it.
yeah. And it's funny you say that. That's exactly why I did that with Strike Force at the top and small, like on number two. It's October 2023. I did that for that reason. Say like 20 years from now, some kid finds some PDF, like when they're reading this, like you said, they'll have some context to what it was like at that time, which you spoke earlier. That's kind of what zines are about. It
Yeah,
is a time capsule. So,
yeah, for
all
sure.
right, we'll jump into it. So, yeah, even the score, like I said, it kind of goes over the name, which is an Edgewise song, which is pretty cool. From Columbia, South Carolina, which I think is sick because I still consider that kind of the South, which is where I'm from. Which I don't know. South Carolina, and North Carolina, obviously have way. They probably have like the sickest hardcore bands for like the Southeast. When I say Southeast region, I mean like the South, not like the
Like, yeah.
Northeast. Yeah, yeah.
Uh,
So I think it's
I
cool.
mean,
But
you think about it though. You think of like all the bands from that time are North Carolina. This is
yeah,
probably the coolest like '90s hardcore thing to come out of South Carolina. You know?
yeah, I agree. Anything to say about these pages in particular?
I mean, they put the lyrics that they got the fucking name from. That's pretty cool.
Old school, bro.
Yeah, that is old school.
Yeah. Good for the next page.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. So I made a note about the first press, the Revelation first press gimmick. Um, I think this is just honestly like we keep mentioning the time capsule thing. I think this really like shows that like they're talking about how hard it was to find like first pressings or like basically non-counterfeit records. And that's
Yeah.
something I've never really thought before, but that was probably like pretty big back then, I imagine, right? Like
Yeah.
someone basically just stole like the sticker, like center press label of a 7-inch, and we're just selling like black records at record stores and shit potentially.
Yeah, or like bootlegs, like Lost and Found, doing like bootleg versions of stuff, which is a really funny thing to think about because at this point, like I feel like a lot of Lost and Found merch is like just as cool and in some cases even cooler than like actual band designs from then. But yeah, I know it was like Lost and Found, obviously like Back to Basics, like Rick to Life got in trouble for fucking bootlegging a bunch of band shit.
He still
Um,
tries to sell bootleg shit.
yeah, but
Go
yeah,
ahead.
this is a funny ass this is a funny ass like way to it's funny that they'd be like for you collector nerds, but it's like obviously they care about that. I love the bold 12-inch saying haha and carrot juice on the Matrix. That's
Yes, dude, it's very insane.
yo, do you when you order records for From Within, do they even give you the option to put a message on the Matrix anymore?
I'm sure that you could. I've never done that. I've never been asked. It's not on the order form anywhere.
Yeah.
Maybe if you just had like a cool rep and you were like, "Hey, could I do something like there?" They'd probably be down, but
Yeah,
to my knowledge,
I
it's
never
not
did it.
normal.
I never did it for Plead Your Case, so I'm just like wondering if it's yeah.
Yeah, real quick, just I know we mentioned Rick to Life. There was like a year, maybe 2 years ago, he was trying to like trade me for some fucking bootleg like cassette tape for like a From Within records, and I was gonna do it just for the gimmick because like I knew it was fake, but it was like this is really funny, like it'd be cool to do. He never sent it, so
Yeah, of course he did.
He's still on his shit, but
Yeah.
yeah, really cool. Just I don't know, kind of shows you the time, and as well as this article on the right, this is basically talking about like sexism in hardcore, which like it'd be stupid to say like sexism doesn't exist now. You know, it exists all over the world, but when you read this, it's like kind of crazy. I don't know. Like I just have to assume there was less girls in hardcore at the time. You know what I mean?
I feel like early mid '90s, there was like a lot more of like that was when there was like the whole like chicks up front thing and stuff, and there was like
Yeah,
more girls like getting involved and stuff. But yeah, this like this is just like so '90s, dude.
very, very nice, which we'll see a lot of in this issue next. But
Yeah,
I love at the bottom they have the "Is Beauty a Crime" lyrics about spoken, which basically just is a song about sexism. I'm sure a lot of people have heard that song and didn't really like they didn't really get that from it. Maybe I don't know, but
yeah.
you
Dope
read the
song.
lyrics,
The lyrics are
yeah,
like kind of funny. Like the like I
kind
get
of
what
funny,
you're
but
saying,
he's trying
but
to
like,
say something important at the same
yeah,
time.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Ready to move on?
yeah.
Yeah. So this article on the left, they have this in one and two. I can't remember if they have it in three, but
It's
they
so stupid. It's so
it's just
fucking
like
dumb, dude.
they just have like these random articles about like friendship.
Yeah.
And it's like I just like don't it's very 90s, like I said, like it's just like I don't know. It's really funny.
It's
Just
the
talking
most
about how important friendship is and how one of his friends fucked him over or something.
it's so funny because it's like early '90s. These dudes are probably like in their like teenage years. These dudes were probably like in high school when they were making this zine, and it's just like these type of essays and these zines, like the shit that like a 16-year-old would like put as their like aim away message.
Yeah.
But like this is like before that existed, so like
Yeah.
they put it in their fucking fanzine, which is so fucking funny to think about.
And I think that's a really good thing to say, like, if you're younger watching this, and like I wasn't around for this, like I'm 29, I'm not trying to say like I'm ancient, but like this was like these people's fucking like message rooms, their Facebook, their MySpace, like this is where you talk shit on stuff. This is where people went to like get like what other people's opinions were on stuff, and it kind of influenced their own. Like this was like their version of the internet, as weird as that is to say.
Yeah,
And
no, it really was.
I think that's super important for people to understand. Like
This
they
like
didn't have like they weren't just like in group chats texting their friends and shit.
yeah, zines were like the forum and like the arena where like scene discourse like occurred, you know?
Yeah. And the amount of zines that sold back then, like I don't think people understand, bro. There's like videos, it may be in effect that there's a picture, but he's sitting on like a stack of like straight up like 500 zines.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Like it was just like that's just it was normal. Like same with records, like bro, back to basics, printing like 1,000 of some like I don't even know, like some random ass band, and they would somehow sell them. Like that just like isn't the case anymore unless you're a huge band or like it something pops off. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just very different times.
Yeah, yeah. Worlds Collide interview. There's not really much to say about it. Um,
Not the biggest fan of the band.
yeah,
It's whatever. It's
I
like
like. I think it's just like I mean I like I'm more interested in Damnation than I am in Worlds Collide. I will say
yeah,
one part that made me laugh is like these are so like not edited like at all to where they just like put everything like do we really need like I love my roommate's name is Ross and then he's like oh really who's your roommate and then he says Ross like
yeah, like just the beginning. Explain Get Ross.
yeah that's like I would definitely cut that out but yeah I don't know it's
Yeah,
layout's cool he's got some grapes as the background
dope. I'll
yeah
go ahead and switch to the next page of it. But
yeah, uh,
there are a couple of funny things. The one thing I'll say is Worlds Collide was on Watermark Records, which has put out one of my favorite 7 inches ever, the Conviction 7 inch. Um, so pretty cool label overall. I mean, they did like Flagman. They probably did some stuff people would like. They've definitely been lost to the sands of time, but
yeah that's so early
check it
90s
out.
dude
Yeah, yeah, for sure. But I mean, if you never listened to that Conviction 7 inch, check it out. That's worth checking out.
That's
Um,
one that me and you both love.
yeah, yeah. I mean, I love both of them, but that one in particular has the spare and shit on it
Yeah,
between
it's
the
awesome.
lines.
Uh,
Good.
the
I want to say, go ahead.
I like the early. It's crazy because like you think about like people have been just like talking about how Victory screwed them over and like
Dude,
shitting on Victory.
I had a note to bring up the victory, people getting pissed at them already in '93.
Yeah, I was gonna say this is 1993, bro. This is pretty early Victory.
Very early. Yeah.
Um,
And already this, like, I'll just read it real quick right here. It's basically like, y'all aren't on Victory Records anymore. It's like, no, we're not on Victory and we never will be. We decided we have too much self-respect to get ripped off a second time.
yeah,
We've talked enough shit about Victory, so just leave,
yeah, it's
leave it
fun.
down, basically.
Um,
Um,
really funny quote that made me laugh because it just sounds so fucking like I get what he's trying to say, but when he says, "As soon as the light bulb was invented, the end of man was foreseen."
yes, yes, bro.
Settle down,
Just
everybody.
talking about technology is going to be the cause of all our deaths. I think another really not funny, obviously, but just kind of show you where things were. Like, he asked like what people's viewpoint of the world is, and they're talking about the Waco, Texas incident and the World Trade Center blowing up. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it's crazy to think about how long ago this was, and what
The
was
way
going
he
on in
asked
the
was
world.
so funny too. Him saying, just saying, "What are some of your views?" is
And then
such,
he just yeah, like
such a
he could have said
vague question.
yeah, yeah, he could have said anything, and he just went up with that. But I don't know, pretty funny. Worth reading, even if you don't like the band. There's definitely some shit you'll laugh at in here. But yeah, Worlds Collide, not worth listening to if I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah, it's fine. Let's
It is what it is.
let's flip the page. Uh,
Yeah,
there's not much in the interview here that's worth noting. I mean, read the interview, but it is funny that they use the same photo like four times.
yes, they love that fucking
The
picture.
cover, the first page of the interview, and then these two pages.
These two
And
pages.
it's really funny looking, but it's also like says something about like you couldn't
The
just like
time.
you couldn't just Google Worlds Collide photos at that
You
point.
couldn't you couldn't get on Instagram and go look at Worlds Collide's band Instagram and
Yeah, you
just
had to use photos that either like you took or one of your friends in your
someone
took.
scanned and sent you, like they mailed it to you.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
I do
which is
think that that was
crazy.
a big thing for bands at the time too, or for zines at the time was like a lot of the
Having your own
photos.
camera.
Yeah, yeah, all the zine people took the photos themselves for their zines, and I think that that's pretty cool.
Yeah, that is dope. That's actually why I got that. I got a little $15 Kodak like Digicam to do that because it's just cool. Old school
Yeah,
makes it a bit more personal.
it's sick too when you're in 2023. A zine has some photos in it that aren't like every photo that you see online too.
Yes, 100%, one hundred
All right, let's
percent.
go next one. Let's keep it
Yeah.
pushing. Uh,
Uh,
the
End of the interview. We don't touch more on that. One of my favorite things of this zine is this right here. This New Start Records beef that holds on into at least the second
yeah,
issue as well. I don't really. Do you know anything about New Start? I don't. I'm not super familiar with it.
I don't. I kind of looked it up.
I did as well.
But like nothing really stood out. But it is fucking awesome that they are just like, yeah, this dude ripped people off. Fuck this guy. Here's his phone number.
Dude, the craziest part, like putting someone's phone number in something like that is well grounds to fight over. I feel
Yeah,
like
yeah, it's
you're getting
awesome.
someone like straight up harassed
And
over.
people actually harassed him, as we will see when we get to the
Oh,
second.
in issue two, yes, we will see, which just makes it even funnier. Like
I love
it's
the.
just go ahead, go ahead. Sorry.
No, you're good. I love the X'd up baseball guy.
So cool,
That's off the cover of the hardball 7 inch.
so beast.
You ever listen to that
I
band?
think I have. I think that's a new start release, is it not?
I have no idea.
I'm almost positive it is actually. I'm gonna look up right now while we're talking about this.
They're pretty bad. The 7 inch is pretty bad. It's not good. It's like the most like it's like cool, but it's very bad.
Yeah, hardball one on one. This is a new start release.
Yeah, that I mean that makes sense why they use that then. It's
Yeah, yeah.
cool as fuck.
Yeah, it is funny. It just I don't know everything about it. Like This chance for sweet revenge is courtesy of even the score, and they just give their address.
Yeah,
Like,
that's awesome.
and at the bottom, we're coming for you, Rob.
Yeah.
I don't know any of the lore on this. I don't know this dude. Like, as someone who runs a record label fully by themselves, I have no friends helping me. Orders can like get behind sometimes. And, I still have a life and shit. So who knows if this dude was actually ripping people off or what? I feel like the '90s was just a fucking war zone for people
Yeah.
getting ripped off. So
Awesome. All right, let's
no,
go.
no way to tell. Oh no.
We got the Winona Ryder page. This was weird. So like, it's
They
so
do this
bizarre.
every fucking issue.
Yeah, it's really weird that this zine like 4 pages ago had an essay about not objectifying women as just like sex
Yes.
objects, and then he has this weird page with just weird photos of like Winona Ryder's cleavage and stuff.
Dude, I could not agree more. And like, I'm not trying to I'm not trying. I'm not being PC or anything. That's not my fucking vibe at all. But it's just like it is really weird how, and not that they're doing anything like like they're like I want to fuck Winona Ryder. You know what I mean? But at the same time, it's just like you have this like all these things about sexism and stuff, and then you have this whole thing, yeah, where it's like a photo of her bending over and
Yes,
like she's like obviously shirtless in the first one. It just is kind of like a, well, what are we doing here, guys? Well,
yeah.
what's the vibe here?
It's like don't object an essay about not objectifying women and then objectifying Winona
Immediately objectifying,
Ryder.
which they do in all three issues. There's
Yeah,
a Winona Ryder thing in every single issue, which is
yeah,
like really funny. I mean, great actor. She's goaded, but just some funny business,
yeah. It's strange.
some Friday business going on.
More Than Music Festival. I feel like the kind of like a tour diary of a or like show or like fest diary as an attendee is like a very like 90s fanzine thing.
I think it's cool. I mean, I think it's dope that like they're not even like playing the, well, a couple of them did play, but like as we'll see in issue 2, they're just like kind of like we went to this show and this is what we did every day. That's
Yeah,
cool.
it's cool. It's dope. Um, yeah, the Cookie Monster
It's
is strange. Very
the
very
Cookie
peculiar
Monster.
choice.
Yeah, the Cookie Monster is kind of fucking insane. We don't have to go super in depth on this whole show review.
No, there is one thing that I wanted to talk about just because me and you are both huge Earth Crisis guys.
Yeah,
Uh, this is when I got to this the first time I read it, I was really hoping that there would be more info on the Earth Crisis set. Skip if you want to skip to the next page. But really, all they say is that like, all right, go next one. I mean, this is just some photos and stuff, but the Earth Crisis part is where is really what I'm interested in. Yeah, here we go. We got some dope photos of Earth Crisis. Basically, them talking about Earth Crisis. I think it was the page before. They were talking about how it was like the set that they were like most
excited for.
and but they don't really say too much about it. And this is like the one that like Earth Crisis fans, like Earth Crisis super fans, like reference this set a lot as being like the set where the band like kind of broke out, where they just rolled down with like all their friends from Syracuse, and like all their friends from Syracuse were like dancing insanely hard. And like this is at a time when, as we'll see in the next issue, this was like in Ohio and like Midwest hardcore, especially like these bands like fucking Iconoclast playing and like Avail and stuff. Like people were kind of like anti hard mosh during this time period in this era, and like them like all their friends coming down and like people were mad at them because they thought they were pro life. This is the set where it's like the lore is that Rob Fish from 108 and Resurrection was getting up on the stage and unplugging their amps in the middle of their set.
So funny. I mean, like you just gotta think about it. Think about what it would have been like to see Earth Crisis in 1993.
Yeah, insane.
Like they were so fucking over the top, straight edge, and like about veganism and shit at that time. I literally, it was probably sick as fuck.
Yeah.
Quick note, I've never really noticed this, but the fucking Lifetime bass player is just absolutely barefoot in this.
I was about to point that out. Yeah, that's the guitar player. That's Dan Yeaman. That's the painted black guy.
Okay.
He's literally always barefoot in old Lifetime.
That is very weird. Bro.
It's so 90s. And Ari, the singer, wearing a Superman shirt, and he's like kind of fat.
That's dope.
Yeah, it's pretty sick.
being fat then was like you were trying, bro.
Yeah, yeah. Because you know these motherfuckers were vegan, and you know that they were eating fucking like only just
Ash,
tofu.
ashwagandha
Yeah,
type shit,
yeah.
bro.
Only health food. Like you had to go to like a weird health food store. I feel like
Yeah,
we're gonna when we do one of these '90s zines, we're gonna hit one that has like the classical '90s zine vegan recipe with with the
yeah.
pizza, where you just drape the thin slices of tofu over the top.
Oh,
These motherfuckers were eating like 300 calories a day. So being fat at this time as a hardcore kid is like kind of impressive, unless you were in like a hard band and you weren't like one of these kind of kids. You know what I mean?
yeah.
But yeah, cool Earth Crisis photos. Um,
They
Carl's got
fucking.
Carl's got cool Jordans on.
He's doing an epic old school posse jump, bro.
Yeah, it's awesome.
But on this last page on the right, they mentioned the fucking Ross thing again. Those dudes are so Ross. It
God.
just shows you like kids in hardcore have been fucking Friday for so long.
Yeah, 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 for
And you know what
sure.
I know I'm going off on a tangent here. We have to do I know it's not exactly a zine. One day we have to do the new Youth of Today book.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
kind of
for
talk
sure.
about that. Dude, that made me realize that hardcore kids have been the same since the dawn of hardcore.
Yeah, it's so funny, dude.
It's insane. Like there is something in your blood if you're a lifer hardcore kid where you are just a dumbass
Yeah.
and troll beyond belief.
Yeah, it's awesome. This mouthpiece photo is dope as fuck.
That is dope. That's like as 90s it gets, bro. Like
Yeah.
the photo looks shitty, just Xeroxed out to hell and back.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Uh, this one is unfortunately kind of hard to read.
Yeah, which is fine. It's just like some weird philosophical bullshit that like
Yeah,
I don't need to hear like philosophy from like a 17-year-old hard straight edge kid from South Carolina in 1993. You know, that's fine.
yeah,
Um,
yeah. I
more
mean, at the
interesting.
time, go ahead.
Yeah, yeah, even yeah. I mean, more interesting is Reform Records, the In Our Blood cassette comp. Pretty
Yeah,
cool. I thought that was pretty dope.
some sick ass bands. I mean, you got Starkweather, Earth Crisis, Conviction, Knockdown,
Yeah,
Converge.
Prima,
Like,
Prima Philly band. That's
yeah,
pretty. I don't know if
$5 in
you've ever, I
person.
don't know if I've ever listened to that comp. I don't know what Earth Crisis song is on it.
I don't either, and I saw this earlier and literally made a note to try to find it on YouTube after. I haven't looked yet, but I'm gonna see if I can. It's somewhere out there. I'm sure somewhere has it.
Yeah. This is more of just like the next page is like weird personal anecdote, non
They're
sequitur
like
about just like
building a
him
skate
going
park.
skating. Yeah, it's like it's very strange. I don't need
They
that.
have this like weird ass like nun looking like this woman like Miss Trenchbolt ass looking lady in the background on here.
It looks like Tim Robbins from Shawshank Redemption,
Like
bro.
what the fuck? Like why that picture? I don't know.
That's
But
that's that's Andy Dufresne cousin.
yeah. This shit is like you can read it if you want. It's literally I'm not kidding about them like building a fucking skate park and it not happening because of cops.
Yeah.
So
The record reviews, I was like hoping for some real '90s hating ass shit, but they're all pretty positive.
oh yeah, I about to say, and I will say one thing about their reviews in like every issue, they don't really like go super in depth. It's just like a couple sentences, which I get like for room's sake, like you can't write a paragraph about everything.
Yeah,
But yeah, it's funny they fucking review Winona Ryder send in the clowns. Like
I don't know what that is.
these dudes were jacking off
Yeah,
nonstop to her, bro. It's very
being
odd.
weird.
Yeah.
One thing that's cool, it sucks that it's washed out and you can't see exactly what it is, but like obviously pre YouTube, VHS trading was like a huge thing. People like copying VHSs of like shows and sending them around and like trading with each other, and I think that's
Cassette
cool.
tapes as well.
Yeah. Obviously pre YouTube, you had to get VHSs of shows if you wanted to watch them.
Yeah.
Pretty cool. Um, Spirit of Youth interview, early H8000 band. Um, it's a pretty standard interview. I mean,
It's like
they
a 90s ass interview. It's like
they
we
talk
are
about being on
straight
Crucial
edge.
Response. That's mad '90s Euro shit.
We are straight edge. We do not agree with the way people live. We are vegetarian. We do not agree with the way people live.
Yeah, yeah, pretty
It's like
funny.
you're, but at the time, this was like, I don't want to use the term revolutionary, but it honestly was.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Like people, being straight edge and like especially like vegan vegetarianism, like that was not a normal thing. Even not that it's normal now. I mean, imagine doing it in the fucking 90s.
Yeah, it's funny.
I
Um,
really like the layout on this one though.
yeah, it is cool. I really laughed at the cartoon. Oh, also them saying, "How do you feel about Winona Ryder?" and him just being like, "Sorry, I don't know who that is."
Yes, I wrote that down. He literally says, "Sorry, mate, but who the fuck is Winona Ryder?"
Yeah. Um, I like the cartoon on the next page where the guy says, "I listen to both kinds of music, straight edge and positive." Was pretty
Yeah,
awesome. That's like a bit we would make in our group chat.
literally, literally though, bro.
Uh,
Um, very 90s. I choose to reject Jesus and keep my way.
yeah,
Just retarded shit like that.
yeah,
It's okay not to fuck. Listen up.
yeah. Awesome.
Pretty 90s shit.
Yeah,
People obviously know this, but in the 90s, sex was huge with straight edge.
yeah, it's pretty
It
interesting.
is. It has been forsaken now, but
Yeah,
back then it was not. Pretty. I think this isn't obviously intentionally goofy, which like makes it funny.
yeah.
But just like I don't
I
stupid
mean,
dumbass who like how to be straight edge.
yeah, these guys all look pretty cool to me. I'm not even,
They literally look dope, bro.
yeah, they look sick. But
Youth
yeah,
of the Day, DYS, the bold dude. I love the explanation to the bold guy. Notice Curtis's bold shirt. This is typical of all early Revelation artists. Also note the extended finger preparing for a pointing maneuver.
that you can't convince me that that's not a text from Matt Callball in 2023.
That's a Matt. That literally, I'm not for people who don't know Matt K. He talks just like that.
He'll send me a picture of he'll be like, dude, look at this picture I found, this new photo of Chain of Strength that Fenders just dropped. Notice the bold shirt. This is like that is such a Matt K. We'll get him on here. We should get
We
him
will.
here for like a boiling point issue or something. That would be
Yes, that would be great.
yeah.
All
Um,
right.
Here we go. This is what I was thinking of. Why can't we dance when the dude is like, "Yo, man, why the fuck aren't we allowed to dance at shows?" And it's like interesting because this is like in 1993, but this like later in the decade is going to be the whole impetus for floor punch starting. Like
Yeah,
them just being like annoyed that people talk about how you can't fucking
karate
dance.
mosh,
They're like,
basically.
yeah, because this was like the full swing of like fucking Evolution Records and like Midwest basement shows and like sit down and listen to what we have to say instead of
Yeah,
moxie and
yeah.
like floor punch guys being like, yo man, we just
Shit's
want
whack.
old school hardcore with dancing coming back.
Yeah,
Yeah. The rest of the zine from here is pretty whatever. The Down by Law interview is kind of whatever, and the layout is like, it's just like transcribed.
yeah. Like you could.
More fucking Winona Ryder photos.
I feel like anyone who's done a zine, like towards the end of it, sometimes you're like, "Holy fuck, I want to get this done." I
Yeah.
feel like that's what happened here. They were just like, "Just throw the fucking text on a white piece of paper and let's finish this."
Yeah, call it a day.
Um, Down by Law, really nothing special. I don't even think you need to check it out. The only thing that's like kind of noteworthy, that's kind of funny, is it shares members of Bad Religion. From what I could find, I
Yeah.
think something really funny is they talk about the new members, and right here it says Mark Phillips. I play guitar. I'm 46 years old.
Yeah.
Why the fuck are they interviewing this guy?
Yeah. That's funny.
Like, that's one thing I don't get about this. It's like there were so many bands around right now. Why did they choose this band?
Yeah. Who knows,
Like,
man?
there's one of them plays in Dag Nasty. Like, it's just
Yeah.
it's a weird vibe.
Yeah.
Uh,
More
fuck. There was. Go ahead.
more Winona Ryder photos, photo of them. Yeah, this is like
Yeah.
the worst part of the zine for sure.
Yeah.
The final thoughts. There's the shirt design that we were talking about. That
Legendary.
yeah, that shirt. Uh, the MySpace thing definitely. This is
Had to be.
a later scan because
Yeah.
I looked it up and MySpace was
2003.
10 years after. So
Yeah.
that was not in the original zine for sure. But
Yeah. There was one part I missed. I wanted to talk where there's shit talking chain of strength, and I have to find it.
it
Oh,
might
here
be
it
the
is.
second issue. Yeah, I mean they
No.
should talk Chain of Strength and that's a very 90s thing.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We forgot to tell you, you weren't supposed to drink or smoke or do drugs unless you're from Boston. Then you can make your own rules. Remember, if Chain of Strength can do it, so can you.
Yeah, that's
Now,
like a recurring theme in these '90s zines. Is like these dudes
yeah,
being, like real mad at Chain.
very very funny.
Yeah.
That part actually like made me LOL when I read it. But yeah, that's even the score number one. We're about to do issue two right now, all in one video. And like I said, I'm gonna go and stop sharing my screen, Lennon, if you're ready.
Yeah, I'm good.
Cool.
All right.
Even the score one, like I said, number two, which you're about to see, is a lot better. But I mean, pretty sick first issue, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean this one's a huge step up though. Like it looks
Huge step
better.
up.
Um, it's got bands that are, I
Way
think,
better bands.
yeah, like not even a matter of personal taste. These are bands that are like way more objectively important, and like Earth Crisis is like a generational band, whether you like them or not. Chokehold is, I wouldn't consider them like an A tier band, but it's like they're very like '90s hardcore, you know.
Yeah,
Um, cool cover. Got some fucking diving going on. Um,
very OS
this
cover.
pose, this pose is so '90s, dude. The like fucking
The
guitar
pointing.
straight out like it's a
Yeah.
rifle. Um, yeah, jumping in here. Um, this shit, it's funny because I did have a note that they were talking about maximum rock and roll in the first issue, and then this is like them being pissed off about maximum rock and roll giving their zine like a negative review. I feel like maximum rock and roll in the '90s was like the enemy of like all like aggressively straight edge hardcore kids. They
They
were
were
just,
like almost like the big business compared to like the underground kids.
yeah, well, they were like the kind of like quote unquote PC zine that was just like, and it was very like anti-moshing, like very like into like the artsy kind of stuff. Um
Yeah. And also, this is another thing I like about sexism, which is very 90 things. And basically, like, they're saying that they were had a sexism article and then they're mad they refer to as someone as a chick. I feel like now, someone wouldn't really bat an eye if you said that. Maybe
yeah,
I'm wrong, but it's just like calling like a chick like "What's up, bro?" Like I do that.
yeah,
I don't think people think anything of it, but this was just a
yeah,
different time.
yeah, it's like dudes, chicks, whatever. It's just like the like, it's like calling a guy a dude, you know? It's just like a slang term, whatever. um
Yeah,
this part here where he's like, just for those of you who said we were nothing but hate, like blah blah blah. This is '90s hardcore, especially like this, like early '90s, like zines and like fucking like straight edge kids. It is the most the epitome of like they're preying on my downfall ass.
dude.
Like every zine is always like people are hating on us. Like, well, it's like, yo, man, shut the fuck up. No one's hating on you.
It was some like they truly thought that people were swimming in haterade.
Yeah, it's pretty funny. Um, dope Earth Crisis interview. Um, this is a good one. You got any notes about this one in particular?
I do on the second page. This is my favorite straight edge quote literally of all time. I think this kind of sums up what straight edge means to me, even as a 29-year-old man. I'll read it real quick. The interviewer asked, "What is the song No Allegiance about?" And then Carl's response, which literally it makes me want to X up my fist right now and punch a hole. No allegiance is not about people that make mistakes when they are lost or suffering. If someone is confused and desperate and makes a mistake, they need our help. No allegiance is about weaklings who forsake straight edge to fit in and evil bastards that lied in order to fit in with us. These same people now mock straight edge out of spite. With them, I have no allegiance. That's hard as fuck.
Yeah, it's awesome. This is a good question here because Earth Crisis haters, for some weird reason, I've heard like people who are like, like all '90s metallic hardcore sucks. Earth Crisis is the wackest band ever. Love to be like, oh, Earth Crisis is a Christian band, which is like, I
Where
don't
do
know.
you even get that?
Yeah, I don't know where that's coming from, but he specifically said, I mean, obviously it's coming from somewhere because they got asked about it, but this could also just be like like the equivalent to like him asking Worlds Collide, like, what are your views? Just like asking questions, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, him just being like, no, bro, I'm not Christian.
There was one more note I had to make. I think he asked him about like guns at one point.
Yeah, up here.
Yeah, and he's just like, I mean, a gun can be a tool for good or bad, whatever. And like for people who don't know, like Carl Earthkreis is like very like pro gun, like doomsday prepper type fella.
Yeah.
So it's just funny to kind of ask that. And they also ask about like what are your views on pornography? Like I don't know. It's just
He
very,
has
very heavy.
he has chokehold that's too. It's like very strange.
Yeah, it was a different time.
Um, cool. You don't really see bald Carl photos
He's
often. That's
bald
pretty.
as fuck, bro. He looks
Uh,
so.
this is pretty funny. I didn't realize that Dennis, the drummer, is 12 years older than Bulldog is.
That's crazy.
Yeah, he's like one of my favorite drummers ever. I mean, I
He's
think
really fucking insanely good at drumming.
it's like Mackie is like number one hardcore drummer ever. But Dennis from Earth
Like
Crisis,
straight edge.
he's up there, dude. Yeah.
Yeah,
Um, cool,
dope
cool,
straight edge drummer.
cool interview. Check it out. It's short. Carl says here that like he skipped a bunch of the silly questions, which is like I don't know. Earth Crisis vibe in interviews, especially at this time, is like not really silly. So they're
Oh, they're a pretty serious band.
the first time I ever met Carl, I realized though that he definitely has like a goofy side. Like he was talking about how much he
Yeah,
loves The Simpsons, which is pretty
yeah,
cool.
yeah.
But yeah, uh, I don't know. You read this interview and you like kind of get it why like people at the time thought they were like these insane, evil, like militant dickheads who like took everything way too seriously, even if they just like they're just definitely not. But like him only answering the serious inner questions and like not answering the silly ones is like I guess I could see why like people who hated on Earth Crisis at the time and were looking for a reason would just kind of pull that out of there. Um,
Yeah. One thing I'll say about Earth Crisis too, like I kind of get it, like whether people agree with what they were doing or not, they were like truly in their minds they were trying to change the world, and I think they definitely did to an extent. Like
oh, for sure.
veganism in straight edge probably would not be as big as it is in America, maybe even worldwide without Earth Crisis. And I know some people will hear that and be like, "You're a dumbass," but it's like I feel like it's undeniably true.
Oh yeah, 100%.
They're on the fucking like news talking about being vegan and stuff like at a time where there weren't not that many people openly like talking about it.
Yeah. Um, Chokehold interview, pretty dope. They get real crazy like right out the gate. Like the first, I was looking at this and I opened it up and like my eye jumped right to the green monkeys are immune to the AIDS virus, and I was just like,
Like,
what in God's name, bro? Um,
yeah.
I mean, Chokehold might be like more fucking political than Earth Crisis, even to be honest with you.
Oh, I would say like more militant in a different way.
Do you like Chokehold?
I do not. I actually wrote down as my notes only chokehold sucks.
Well, we disagree on that, but that's okay. Um,
I
uh,
just never got into it. I think like it's just like the dude like this shit in here is just like so goofy in a
yeah,
way the Earth Crisis isn't. Dude, the AIDS virus thing is insane.
yeah, yeah, it's crazy as fuck. But yeah,
One funny part I noticed, he's like, "What do you think about like how society views sex? It's kind of perverted."
yeah,
It's just the first thing he says.
yeah, and then like the pornography thing where he was just like, pornography is okay, I guess, as long as it's not with children. If it's
Like,
adults, it's fine. It's like,
yeah, it's
yeah,
like
no
no
shit.
shit, man.
Yeah. Um, but yeah, pretty cool. It's a little bit longer than the
The
Earth Crisis one. I think it's funny that this page they literally just used the cover of the first issue as the background
That's
for
the
it.
background. They also shit talk Shane again on the left page.
Yeah, they
Just said the singer was the singer was never straight edge. She just sang the songs.
two bands that you don't like that I feel like you should like.
Who?
Chain and Chokehold.
Is I like Chain more than Chokehold. It's not. I shouldn't say like I like actively don't like them. It's just two bands I've tried to get into and just never really clicked.
Yeah. Um, this one was pretty cool. They're talking about Canada, and they played a show that was Chokehold, Mean Season, Unbroken Edgewise, Earth Crisis. That's pretty dope.
That is a dope ass show.
Yeah. But yeah, cool interview. If you like Chokehold, check it out. Um, I'm more interested in the photos here. More just like personal anecdotes and shit that like
They have another fucking friendship type ad on the
yeah,
right.
it's like who cares, man?
Like friends come and go. My friend fucked me over this time. It's like,
Yeah,
what are you saying, dude?
this is just like 17-year-old shit, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Um I'm interested. I do want to find a stand up Holocaust fanzine.
Uh,
They talk about it here too.
yeah,
Um,
I had that in my notes as well. I've never read it. I think it's insane to name your zine Holocaust at
yeah, it's
any point
crazy.
in time. I won't lie.
Yeah,
Holocaust, a question of compromise. Like,
yeah. I do like any unbroken interview from this time that I can find, especially if it's with Rob Moran.
oh yeah.
They're usually really good. So he's like
Also, one thing.
a smart
Go
and
ahead.
well spoken guy. What were you saying?
I agree. Just writings on abortion and that, like, abortion was such a big thing at this time. Like, people that don't know this, haven't read these old zines, like, hardcore kids were against abortion, like, pretty heavily.
Yeah, I mean, well, like it was like split. There was like it was like a big point of contention at the time.
Yeah,
Obviously, you had like bands like Chokehold and like Ebullition Records bands who were like aggressively pro-choice, and then like the
that's right.
hardline bands were like aggressively pro-life. People try
Yeah,
to call Earth Crisis pro-life too, and they were kind of like vague
don't
about it. But
yeah,
they also Carl's like, yeah, when I wrote that song, I was like fucking
a
15, so
kid.
whatever.
Yeah,
Um,
or epic, dude. This is my favorite thing in all these zines. I think just how willing they are to say fuck this guy, dude. They have Busk in there, bro. Is that what they are? Pussies? I don't know, but just random quotes, just them shit talking to people.
Yeah. Yeah. Now they got, so now we go from the anti New Start shit has gone to 2 pages. They're now calling him Rob Seaman and they're talking about his mom. Um, I love, yeah, he changed his phone number again. Here's his new number. So, like,
As
clearly their
say,
harassment of this fella is working.
is
Uh,
insane, dude.
this one, like, this picture of this, like, skinny guy, and they're like, this is him weightlifting is funny. Um, like, uh,
They show where he lives. They say
yeah,
like on a map, Rob Winston or Winston Salem. Rob lives here.
yeah, it's funny. It's funny too, like, them like in the first page they're just like the first issue they're like fuck this guy, he's an asshole, here's his phone number, harass him. Clearly it's working because he changed his number. But this one they're just like going to like just like childish insults, calling him Rob Seaman and like making fun of him here. That's pretty funny. We got Enemy's Voice, socialist straight edge fanzine. This has to be, yeah, this is definitely Euro. um I don't know what a lot of this is. I don't know what most of these bands here are.
No fucking idea, dude.
Um, Harvest Records ad, PA shit. Edgewise, Starkweather, pretty cool. Um, more Winona Ryder shit.
Dude, him talking about he's trying to find her. He was trying to find her in New York.
Yeah, don't be weird, man.
Literally.
All right, well, this is even weirder now.
This
I'm gonna
this is
skip this.
like
I don't know if we can even show that on YouTube. So let's.
well, I want to talk about it real quick. You don't have to show it. Like, it's so insane. This is like the most Friday shit ever. For people who don't, we're gonna say Friday a lot. It just means nonsense. Like, there,
Yeah,
it doesn't make any sense. They have a fucking like article in this zine about body piercing,
they have a
which
bunch
like
of like Prince Alberts and stuff.
yeah, like I that was obviously probably very popular in the '90s. Not, I mean, people still get piercings now, but I feel like if you watch any like old like Earth Crisis '90s videos, people like even the guys and the chicks all have like eyebrow piercings and shit, and like I don't know, not my vibe, but it's just very weird to put this in a zine. But you know, what the fuck ever.
Yeah, it's strange. It
Uh,
is.
And this page also is kind of weird to me. They're just talking about how their friend is no longer with the zine, but they're kind of treating it like it's like a band, like someone quit, like the Rolling Stones or something.
Bro,
It's
they're
just
making it. They're making it like he died, bro. It's.
yeah, or
I thought this was so weird.
like he broke Edge or something, and they like don't fuck with him anymore. It's kind of weird.
Yeah. Zine reviews and um 7-inch reviews also. Um talking about Holocaust. I mean Syracuse Zine with interviews with Conviction, Chokehold, and Unbroken. I definitely want to find that and read
I
it.
would love to very
Um
much so.
more zines. We got some releases here talking about Chokehold, Ass Factor 4, funny ass band name. Um, talking about the straight edge or the short sight 7-inch good straight edge hardcore from Belgium. Short sight is really bad, funny H8000 band. Um, Talking about
like
the
a lot
Earth
of it.
Crisis 7 inch. It's pretty
Yeah,
cool. The issue before they talk is like I think they said this one, yeah, this one's fall 93. The issue before is summer 93, talking
yeah.
about All Out War 7 inch being awesome. And then this one talking about how the Firestorm 7 inch is awesome.
Firestorm.
Pretty dope. Um this is more like tour diary shit, them just, personal anecdotes,
Just
funny
like
little
going to
graphic.
shows, like it's pretty crazy. They're not even. It's not like getting straight up tour. They're just like we went on a road trip.
Yeah, it's pretty funny. Read it if you're interested. Completely on like illegible photos here. Um, but yeah, it's like nothing super of note here, but interesting if you want to check it out. Edgewise interview, them getting an interview with the band that they did that they named
Got the
the
name from.
zine
Yeah,
after is pretty cool.
pretty
Um,
circle.
yeah, but yeah, this is pretty standard interview. Nothing really jumped out to me about it, but cool layout.
It's cool. I will say, Vince from Edgewise, who ran Harfcore, he still
Yeah,
like comes around to shows and shit in Philly, which is like pretty awesome. So,
yeah,
Lifer,
yeah. Dope.
what are your thoughts on Edgewise? Like, I've definitely listened to them. I've never like taken a deep dive. I know some people like swear by them.
It's cool. They got some tracks. It's not something I'm like sitting here listening to or like saying is like essential listening, but it's like pretty cool.
Yeah.
Um they have some later material that's like weird, but like the early stuff is just like it's like Judge type core, you know?
Hmm.
Um more just like I don't know, funny article about kids wearing baggy clothes. Um Cool looking ad, more weird Winona
Dude,
Ryder.
I was gonna bring this up. This part is so fucking weird to me. Basically, him doing a thing like where he is trying to pick a porn star name.
Yeah. This is
Like, what
perverted.
the fuck were, dude? Like, these motherfuckers were so horny.
Yeah. They need to chill out. Um I do like that they like just kind of put these random ads like just to fill up space where they need it. Like it'll be like a band interview and then there will just be like an unrelated ad in the corner. I think that's very 90s zine and pretty funny.
I will say one thing really quick about that last page.
Uh,
Uh, they call Scott D calls someone a stank ass bitch. Just
yeah.
shit talking someone. Just that's kind of awesome.
Yeah. Um, yeah, who knows, man.
Friday.
More just like personal storytelling anecdotes. Insanely funny ad with like this fucking Victorian fella. That's, that's pretty funny. Trustkill zine, interviews with fucking Chokehold. Trustkill zine is dope. Have you ever read it?
Yeah, I've read some of them. I know. Fuck, what's their name? Why am I blanking on the name now? The place that does like the biggest zine like discography type shit.
Yeah,
Oh,
Shining Light.
Shining Life. Yeah, yeah. Why did I forget that? They recently just came out with, I believe, their whole zenography of
Did it
every
ever
track.
come out? I was waiting for it. I didn't know if it ever came out.
Maybe it didn't. Maybe it didn't because I don't have it, but I swore they posted that it was coming out soon. But they do. We'll get that and definitely do some stuff in that. I feel like Trustkill is like very unknown at this point in time.
Well, people know about it because of the people know about it because of like the label putting out like metalcore bands later, 18
Yeah,
Visions and stuff like that. But I mean, Trustkill Zine was awesome, and like Josh Grabel or whatever, Josh Trustkill did like he did shows like at his in his parents' basement in New Jersey, and it was like legit like good like mid 90s hardcore shit. But
got a short site ad, some
or
Crazy
short site shit,
Friday
yeah.
ad.
Have you ever listened to Short Sight?
Yes, I've listened to all those bands. You know, we can we'll do some issues of the
HL.
Belgian. Yeah, yeah, because I we both have the zine, so that'll be cool to do. We'll get to that when the time comes, but them motherfuckers are all over the place with a lot of their bands.
Yeah, it's crazy. And then Brotherhood, Sisterhood, Drug Free, and the address.
The one note I had is the back of this is God tier. I ripped this for a From Within zine one time where I just basically scanned it and then changed the square with the From Within info as the back of the page.
That's awesome.
It just looks cool as fuck. Looks awesome.
Yeah, I mean, pretty cool zine, pretty cool. Both first issues are dope. Good interviews with Chokehold and Earth Crisis. This is I feel like we both have aped this layout a lot for our zines, like this
Oh yeah,
kind of layout style. So yeah,
I love that for the zine, just the way they like. I mean, the last Strike Force zine is definitely ripped off from this. Just you have the title up top, a dope ass picture, and then the bands on the bottom. It's like it looks cool, but yeah, you know exactly what you're getting when you look at it. Like some of these zines, like that'll have like the graffiti fonts and shit. Well, that does look cool. It just looks so all over the place that I feel like people are like, what the fuck am I even reading? Or like, what is in this? With
yeah,
the layout like this, you know exactly what you're getting, which I think is sick.
yeah. But yeah, so that's the first episode. Thanks for checking it out. Um, we're gonna even out or iron out some kinks as we get better at doing this. And any last words or anything you want to say, Carter?
No, thank you for checking it out. We got a lot more planned. We will be doing Even the Score issue 3, but that one I think is big enough. The last issue deserves its own episode. So for this first one, we kind of wanted like a mega sized episode issue, whatever you want to call it. So yeah, thanks for checking it out.
Yeah.
Peace.